Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. And that week is August 21st. And my name is David, and today I am joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Liz and Sammy. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for being here. How you guys doing?
Feeling good.
Super.
Awesome. As our friend Scott would say, feeling the fantasy today. And thank you to everyone out there for joining us and also hopefully feeling the fantasy and watching us on Xfinity platforms. Maybe you're watching us on Xumo Play on the Xfinity What to Watch channel. Thank you for joining us there. We have another great show for you, so let's get right to it. On today's episode, we'll reveal the TV premieres we're most excited about this week. Sammy will sit down with Sarah Jessica Parker and the cast of Max's and Just Like That. We'll explore some of our favorite young adult series, and Liz will tell you how you and your pups can enjoy dog TV for free this week. So let's get things started with this week's Best of the Best in the segment called Appointment TV. Every week, the Xfinity editors pick the TV show, movie, or special event they are most excited about right now. And this week, we will kick things off with me. And the premiere I'm most excited about for this week is the long-awaited Mandalorian spin-off Star Wars Ahsoka, which premieres with 2 episodes on Disney Plus this Wednesday, August 23rd. So let's take a quick look at a clip.
This is a new beginning. For some, war.
Thrawn's calculated moves leave me in a constant state of unease.
Perhaps it is time to begin again.
I tried to survive for many years because of the rebels. Now is the time to stand up.
My master always taught me to fight outside the rules.
Everything leading up to this moment has been rehearsal. The real performance is about to begin.
If you are unfamiliar with the Star Wars character Ahsoka Tano, she debuted in the popular 2008 Cartoon Network series Star Wars: The Clone Wars, where she was portrayed as a Jedi Padawan studying under the one and only Anakin Skywalker before, of course, he becomes the iconic villain Darth Vader. The character quickly became a fan favorite, and following the critically acclaimed first season of the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian, fans began to petition for actor Rosario Dawson to play the grown-up version of Ahsoka in a live-action adaptation. Well, fans got their wish, and Dawson made a somewhat surprise appearance in season 2 of The Mandalorian, as well as the one and only season of the Book of Boba Fett. Now she has her very own series in which Ahsoka joins forces with her former apprentice, a Mandalorian named Sabine Wren, to track down a dangerous galactic empire kingpin known as Grand Admiral Thrawn. The series co-stars recognizable names such as Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Ray Stevenson, and David Tennant. There are even rumors that Hayden Christensen will reprise his role as Anakin Skywalker, continuing his redemption tour as Anakin Skywalker and all these years later. And even if you haven't been keeping up with the Star Wars series on Disney Plus, I think this is one that you can and should jump into this week because Rosario Dawson is excellent as this character. Liz, Sammy, any interest in this one from you guys?
Yes.
Liz.
I can't even fake that.
It's okay.
I can't
Sammy.
fake it. I'm sorry. But Sammy, you go ahead because you're excited about it.
Okay, well, I would consider myself like a baby Star Wars fan. I caught up on the entire franchise during the pandemic when we were all knee-deep in franchise watching. And I can't say that it's my favorite of the nerdy kingdoms, but I do love the Disney Plus series. I think they're really well done. I think the set design and production and costuming is just incredible. Obviously, the cast that they have is top notch. I love Rosario Dawson. This one, I don't even really know much about the character of Ahsoka, but I just love Rosario Dawson, and I love that it follows a strong female character. And I'm just really excited to see this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like most Star Wars, you can have, I think, like a pretty surface level knowledge of a character, because, and you kind of have to, because otherwise there are like books and comics and like endless, you know, like an endless amount of backstory material on some of these characters.
Yeah.
Like Ahsoka has an entire animated series worth of stuff about her. I was on Wikipedia, which is the Star Wars Wikipedia, and the entry for Ahsoka is endless, because not only do they have that cartoon series, but there's been other books and content written about her, and it's like, and she was this, and she knew this character, and she trained under this person, and then she was betrayed, and you're like, I don't know, I can't do any of this. But you don't have to. You can jump straight into this series, and I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, I think I might do that. I feel like this whole Star Wars thing feels very intimidating to me, and I think I was turned off by it. I had a boyfriend in college who was really into it, and I just like, even though I tried, I really, really did, I just could not get into it. And then at some point when we broke up, it was just like every time I thought of Star Wars, I thought of him. And it's so funny because my husband has my girls like watching they're sitting here and they've been binging and going through and watching each of them. And he's trying to like educate them on the whole Star Wars thing. So I'm so glad that they're getting it. And I leave the room and go read a book or something, but not, I don't know enough about it. I feel like it's very intimidating. To your point, David, there's a lot. It's a whole lot. You don't even know where to get started. But this looks like a great place, if any, for me, because I do love Rosario Dawson, Sammy. So I think this might be a great place to. I'm not going to say like be a converted fan, but like I might love this show. So.
Yeah, and I think it's similar to like the Marvel series. Like you can jump in and watch WandaVision and like never watch anything again and still like kind of enjoy it because maybe you like Elizabeth Olsen or one of those. You know, I think a lot of the Marvel Disney Plus series are like this. And so, yeah, worth checking out.
Awesome.
Liz, what are you excited about this month, or this week, I should say?
So this week I'm excited about Who is Erin Carter on Netflix. It's coming out on August 24th. I'm super excited about this show because, I mean, look at the diversity in the cast. It's great. It's shot in Spain. And it's a story about a British mom, wife, teacher who lives a regular schmegular life and gets caught up in a supermarket robbery that goes badly, and someone recognizes her, and maybe she's not as regular schmegular as she'd like to pretend she is, right? So that is appealing to me. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it, and can't wait to watch it again on Netflix on August 24th. So I've got it all ready. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to watch Who is Erin Carter.
Why does this sound familiar to me? A supermarket robbery. Sammy, what am I reminded of?
I don't
Good
know. When I
Girls?
first went to like supermarket stakeout on
I love that.
not the same thing, but
I'm thinking
true
of
crime
like,
version.
Good Girls on NBC. I think they like in the beginning of that series, didn't they rob a supermarket?
Yes.
And then what about that movie? Was it Jawbreaker, where they all like wore Betty masks and robbed a supermarket somehow? I don't know.
Listen, it's a scary place, the supermarket. So be careful.
Either way, all of them involve someone who's not so regular schmegular robbing or being involved in the supermarket robbery.
Yeah, so she's not, I don't think, in it. She gets caught up, and I think one of the robbers recognizes her, and I think, and I don't know enough to be quite honest with you, but I think that she's covering up something, maybe a past that she's trying to walk away from. Yeah. So
I love this.
Yes, me too. And it turns out like she's badass. Like she can fight, and she's like fighting, and yeah. So, and I love, again, another strong woman in a lead role. So yeah, Yeah, especially when they're not regular schmegular, pretending to be, and then you turn out to be like a badass, right? Like, love it. Excited.
Strong woman in the lead role means Netflix is going to cancel it after one season.
Oh. I wish you weren't right. I hope not.
Sorry, Netflix.
That's okay.
I'm still excited about it. I'll support it. We'll get to more of this in our young adult segment later on.
Yeah.
Sammy, what are you excited about this week?
Okay. Also on Netflix, my pick for this week is the new, also YA, Netflix comedy movie, You Are So Not Invited to My Bat Mitzvah, which premieres this week on August 25th on Netflix, like I mentioned. The film is based on the 2007 young adult novel of the same name, which tells the story of two best friends whose bat mitzvahs go awry when a popular boy at school causes a little bit of drama between the girls. Something that makes me really excited about this movie, aside from it being about a bat mitzvah, is the cast, which is basically royalty of Jewish media, Adina Menzel and Adam Sandler. In addition to Adam Sandler's entire family, including his wife, his two daughters, Sunny and Sadie, and his wife Jackie, like I mentioned. So I am a big fan of the Adam Sandler family and universe, so I'm very excited to see their interactions on screen. I think his daughters are playing the daughters or the two girls in the movie itself. So yeah, I love any mention of bat mitzvahs or the very specific Jewish upbringing that is so relatable. I haven't read this novel before, so I'm really excited to watch the movie and just watch, like I mentioned, the king and queen of Jewish movies and media, Adina Menzel and Adam Sandler.
I love it.
Who was so not invited to your bat mitzvah, Sammy?
Oh, I don't know who's out there. I don't want to ruffle any feathers.
Did you have a big themed event?
I did. This is a great moment to talk about my theme. Thank you, David. My bat mitzvah happened on April 25th, 2009. And at the time, and still now, I was a big environmentalist. So my theme was eco-friendly. Just the umbrella, eco-friendly. My color scheme was brown, blue, and green because nature. And everything was recycled, and I had peace signs on everything. It was a really groovy time. Yeah. I performed the Hoedown Throwdown from the Hannah Montana movie, which had just recently been released. So there was a break in the party, and then I performed in front of all of my guests.
Oh my God. There must be video.
I was just thinking that we needed that video.
I'm really hoping there's no photographic or video evidence of.
Did you have it at a special venue?
It was at I think a Westin hotel nearby. Okay. Yeah, it was a good time. If you both had a bat or bar mitzvahs, what would your theme have been at 13 years old?
Oh, that's a good one.
13. I mean, the same stuff I talk about being obsessed with. I would probably be a professional wrestling themed bat mitzvah.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it would have been. I had like my anytime I had a birthday, my mom would get me I think like a lot of kids of the 80s or 90s, like a cake that had like little plastic figurines of whatever you like. So I had a lot of Ninja Turtle cakes. I did eventually have a wrestling cake with a little hard plastic wrestler with his fists up on top. I think I had a Ghostbusters theme at one point, so it would have been one of those. Wow. How about you, Liz?
I think it would have been theater, like related. I really thought I wanted to be on Broadway, but I can't sing and or not well. So that dream died quickly, but like I loved theater and just watching shows and Broadway. So I think maybe it would have been that. But that's a commitment, right? Like then you look back and do you cringe at all, Sammy, when you think about I feel like that's the purpose of this exercise is like to think back and cringe at your theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's what it's for, really. It's just so that
You
14
can look
years
back.
later, you can look back and go,
You go, oh my gosh, I've grown so much as a person.
Did you have dirt cups, like the pudding with the Oreo crumbles and worms?
I didn't, but that would have been so good.
Those are good.
Oh, a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Can you renew your bat mitzvah? Like people renew their wedding vows? Can we do it all over and I can plan it for you?
I was thinking for my 30th birthday, I would do a 13 going on 30 theme, which would then be a redo of my bat mitzvah. So
that's so good.
That is such a good idea. Hoedown, throwdown all over again.
Oh, yes.
Oh, my God.
Love that. Love it.
Fantastic. Well,
we'll put that on Appointment TV.
We will. That is Appointment TV. And you can check out all the premieres we just talked about and so much more simply by saying what to watch into your Xfinity voice remote. Next up, we're looking for ridiculous, inconvenient, consuming, can't live without each other love in this week's edition of Hangouts. The Sex and the City sequel series, and Just Like That, drops its second season finale on Max this Thursday, August 24th. And it just so happens that our very own TV editor, Sammy, recently sat down with the iconic stars of both shows, including Sarah Jessica Parker and Kristen Davis, for a brand new episode of Xfinity Hangouts. Sammy, was this a dream come true for you?
Yes. This was, I think the last time I talked about Hangouts, I mentioned that when I interviewed Tony Shalhoub for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, that was a dream come true. But when I was faced with Sarah Jessica Parker, the SJP, that is a dream come true. True white whale moment. I also got to speak with Karen Pittman and Sarita Chaudhry, but let's take a look.
You don't move on because you're ready to. You move on because you've outgrown who you used to be. I've repurposed my kitchen. Did you know stoves aren't just for storage?
Come work for me.
But my kids need me even more these days.
Are you wasted? We did some shots!
And just like that, I realized you never know what tomorrow will bring.
Sitting here with you is like 10 years just.
Obviously, we know Sex and the City and Just Like That both take place in New York, which is your home as well. But I'm curious, what is the biggest difference between your New York City and Carrie's New York City?
Oh my gosh. I think it's the way we navigate around it, you know, what we do, how we spend our time, what streets we're often on and not, how often we eat out, which is she eats out a lot and orders in a lot, and we just don't as much. She's an uptown person, I'm a downtown person. Yeah, there's just a lot of ways that our cities are different and our relationship with the city is, but the love for the city is very aligned.
And something else we both have in common, we are both very strong dog people. And I just love your original Sex and the City dog, Elizabeth Taylor, so much. So I have to ask about Charlotte's current dog in Just Like That, Richard Burton.
Yes.
How is he as an on-screen partner?
Amazing. Much heavier than Elizabeth Taylor. I don't know if you saw where I'm carrying Richard Burton. Woo!
He's hefty.
Out. I mean, and he got hot. I had him like next to me, you know, because I was trying to balance. I'm in the heels. I'm trying to balance, and he got really hot. So he tried to like get away from me, and he almost rolled off. And I was so scared he was going to get hurt that I fell to the floor to catch him. It was all a whole drama. We were fine, and he did not get hurt, thank God. But he is our secret weapon. I mean, I don't know how much you've seen, but like we use Richard Burton a lot this season because Richard Burton is very talented. very talented. I mean, Rochelle, his trainer, she's amazing. Like, we really don't have a lot of time on the set to do proper dog, etiquette of working etiquette, which, requires rehearsal and quiet and nobody else on set and all of that. We don't really have that. So we just kind of roll with it. And that dog can do whatever we want. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
Love it.
Oh, that was really one of the best conversations I ever could have imagined having with Kristen Davis, aka Charlotte of Sex and the City. I didn't think that asking her about her dog on screen would then lead to a 5-minute anecdote about how much she loves dogs and how she wants to adopt a dog, but her daughter wants a different kind of dog and she wants a dog and the adoption agency won't get back to her. I was like beaming. I was just, this is the best conversation I could ever possibly imagine.
I love
that. First of all, your question to Sarah Jessica Parker was excellent. Very good question. Didn't she compliment your room and your background?
Yes, she did. I purposely wore that shirt that day because it had flowers on it. And if you're a fan of Sex and the City, you know that there's always flowers around. I mean, you can see Carrie in this piece of key art. There's a giant flower over her. And both Kristen Davis and Sarah Jessica Parker said that they loved my backgrounds and my flowers, which was just the ego boost that I'll never let go. And I'll remind myself whenever I need a little pat on the back that Sarah Jessica Parker said I was adorable.
Oh my God.
Oh,
SJP really brought it with the background in hers, those pink books and the picture frames. And not to call out Kristen, but comparatively, it's like, I don't think she was at home. I think they were like, we need to toss something over this. What can we bring from around this room? And
she looked like she was in the foyer of a bathroom, like a ladies' bathroom. You know, that room before you go into the stalls. That's what it
there was
like.
One of those outlet covers on the wall that doesn't have any plugs in it. And poor Kristen Davis. I assume she was not home and had to like make do with what she had, but the contrast between her and SJP.
I hope
and if
not.
it is your home, it's lovely.
It's lovely. It's great.
Are either of you fans of Sex and the City, or are you watching And Just Like That?
I have seen it, but I'm not like a huge, like crazy Sex and the City fan. But I have seen it. I do like it. I'm looking forward to this one, but not like a huge crazy fan.
Similarly, I've seen many episodes of Sex and the City over the years and actually thought the movie was actually spectacular. Like, I watched it knowing very little about the series and really enjoyed it. And the fact that I could do that means it was great storytelling. And also, like, felt it hit all the right emotional beats for me, even though I didn't know anything. The second one was the hottest garbage ever made ever. So that shouldn't have ever existed. But I feel good knowing that I've experienced some episodes. I watched the movie and don't need to go any further with the saga. For me, I've had my experience. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's okay. I watch it enough for both of you. It's one of my comfort shows that's just always in the background. Yeah, big fan. This was a dream come true, for real, to talk to her and all this cast.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you. That's awesome.
Me too. And you can check out Sammy's entire interview with the cast of And Just Like That now by saying Hangouts into your voice remote, and don't miss the series or season 2 finale on Max this Thursday. That is the season 2 finale on Max this Thursday, August 24th. Next up, it's teen angst, young love, and growing pains in the latest edition of What to Watch This Week. Getting old sucks, but the wonderful world of television is chock full of shows to remind us about those first heartbreaks, awkward gym classes, nosy parents, playground bullies, fashion faux pas, pesky siblings, and every embarrassing thing we did from the age of 13 to 21. Come to think of it, being young sucked too, But if you're keen to relive the good old days, our very own TV editor Sammy has compiled a collection of the best young adult series to ever grace the airwaves. Sammy, tell us more about it.
Yes, thank you, David. So this week on the CW, there is not one but two series finales of classic YA or young adult series, Riverdale and Nancy Drew. So like David mentioned, thought this would be a great opportunity to visit our YA collection, which houses the best and worst of the teenage experience on screen. I should mention that YA is a teenage audience, usually featuring teenagers, but not limited to that, as we are all fans of YA dramas and comedies and the like. So right off the bat, you'll see collections for recently released YA movies and TV. Then we have 25 young adult TVs and shows that define the genre, including Veronica Mars, Fresh Prince, Euphoria, Avatar, all very different in genres, but all YA. Then you might ask yourself, but I am not a young adult anymore. Have no fear, because we have YA experiences no matter what decade you were born in, including the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. And in the 2000s is my favorite collection of Disney Channel original movies, which I know we've talked about on the show before and is my favorite collection. A few other categories include shows as dramatic as your life feels, LOL or LOL worthy teen comedies, teen angst but make it sci-fi, shows to stream with the lights on, and teens animated. My personal favorite show in the YA collection has to be Gilmore Girls, which I relive and rewatch every fall to relive the chaos and embarrassment that is Rory Gilmore and all of her friends and hijinks. David, Liz, I do believe that you also have some favorites from this collection as well. Please tell.
I do. My favorite young adult series is probably not one you would expect, especially since it was canceled after only one season. But trust me, if you want to enjoy one of the best single season shows ever made, go to Netflix right now and watch Teenage Bounty Hunters. The series stars Maddie Phillips and Angelica Bett Fellini as fraternal twin sisters who unexpectedly find themselves moonlighting as bounty hunters under a cranky veteran bounty hunter named Bowser, played by Kadeem Hardison, who you may know best as Dwayne Wade from the show, from the 80s and 90s sitcom A Different World. In typical adult series or a young adult series fashion, the show deals with life in high school, controlling parents, sexual discovery, and the struggles of being a young woman in the modern world, but does so with a large dose of very sharply written comedy and a perfect amount of heart. And when this show dropped in August 2020, in one of the most depressing stretches of the pandemic, it was exactly what I needed. The series also includes one of the best TV twists in recent memory, which made it even more heartbreaking when Netflix pulled the plug, despite the fact that it earned a 94% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Despite the cancellation, I still think Teenage Bounty Hunters is worth your time. Sammy, did you watch this?
I didn't, but I should mention that it is included in the collection in YA, canceled but not forgotten, alongside a lot of other Netflix one-season wonders that were canceled too soon. I remember how sad you were, David, when this cancellation came through.
This show, I know you're saying Teenage Bounty Hunters, like how, but it just like filled my heart. It was so much fun, and I had some of the biggest laughs I've ever had watching TV, watching this series. Their performances, Maddie and Angelica, are so good in this, and so just perfect comedic timing in every joke. And Kadeem Hardison's also incredible. I was just so all on board, and also like I said, maybe it just had to do with just desperately needing something to make me feel good during that portion of the pandemic. But it is really a bummer because Netflix has killed a lot of female-led series after one or two seasons that I really loved, like this and Glow and Warrior Nun and I Am Not Okay with This and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina and the Dark Crystal, like, and on and on and on. But, you know, give us 5 more seasons of The Witcher, Netflix. Great. All right. I just love this show. And really, honestly, like, I know it's hard to watch something you know has been canceled, but if you're looking for just a good time and the twist at the end, even though we'll never really get any kind of closure on it, it's good. It's worth it. So
Yeah, start that petition. Bring it back, just like they did for Ahsoka.
There were petitions. For the longest time, I was in like a Twitter and Instagram algorithm that was just nothing but posts about bringing this show back because all I was doing was looking it up. I can't believe no one picked it up, honestly. And now they've gone on. Angelica was in one of what's his name? Oh my God! Now it's the director who's got all the very stylized Moonrise Kingdom. Wes Anderson. She was in a Wes Anderson movie. Maddie is in, I believe, Gen V, the New Boys spinoff. So they've gone on to find their places in Hollywood and other projects. But I'll always have a special place in my heart for Teenage Bounty Hunters. They also have matching Teenage Bounty Hunter tattoos. Why do I know so much about this show? And the stars. Liz, please save me and tell us about your favorite young adult series.
Well, mine is not on Netflix, thank goodness, and actually is season 2. So yay for strong female leads. It is The Summer I Turned Pretty on Prime Video. Now, okay, I did not plan on watching this. So this was one of those, my kids have control of the TV, mom, watch what we're watching sort of thing, because they end up watching everything that I watch, and was like immediately sucked into this show. And I pretended not to watch, and I was kind of like reading my book and watching the whole entire time. But this is amazing. So it's a diverse cast, Asian American cast. It's fresh and relevant and modern in a way that depicts like the American family. And what I loved about it is that the main story is about a young girl, they call her Belly, who grows up with another family, like her mom's best friend and their kids, and they summer together all of the time at their house with a pool and all of that fun stuff. And so all of a sudden they grew up together until then it just becomes weird, right? So they start to notice each other. They're at that age where they start to notice each other, and they all kind of start have more than one of them having feelings for one another. So it's messy, right? And trying to navigate all of that. But I think what really caught me is, and David, I laughed when you said that getting old sucks, because yes, I 100% agree. But, and I know that being young sucked too, but in a very different way. But it was the whole like middle-aged wife mom thing that really sucked me in. Those secondary stories for me were really great. It was about, marriage, troubled marriage, and being able to co-parent, and divorce, and dating as a middle-aged woman, friendships at that age as well, and then illnesses, and someone finding out and covering up that they have an illness, and navigating all through that too. So I think that underlying those secondary stories, I think, is what is most interesting, I think, to me, and maybe others would find that as well. But this YA genre just has a grip, right? They know what they're doing. They do it well. And I'm not embarrassed to say now that I absolutely love this show, and excited that season 2 will be on Prime Video. And that's what I'm excited to watch.
Yeah, I have to tell, I had a trouble like picking just one YA series for this segment. It was like Cruel Summer. Do I go with Teenage Bounty Hunters? Do I go with even like Motherland, Fort Salem? There's far too many freeform shows I could have picked that I'm really like low key into. Sammy, I know you also have a hard time picking just one show that you're interested in, and you have a few that you're really obsessed with, right?
Yes, I do love this genre, and I love Gilmore Girls so much. I think it shows the good, bad, and the ugly of just watching Rory Gilmore age from high school, really early high school, all the way through college. She only gets cringier and more difficult to watch, but in a similar vein as The Summer I Turned Pretty, Liz, there's those secondary stories following Lorelai and her relationships and her marriages and divorces, whatever. I think that just really rounds out the whole show, and it makes it kind of beyond just YA. There's a lot more layers to it. But like I mentioned, the reason we're even talking about this is because of the series finales of Riverdale and Nancy Drew on the CW this week on the 23rd. These I feel like are the biggest of like the recent YA shows. I think right now we think of Riverdale, which the first 2 seasons are very good.
Period.
Cannot speak to the rest. I think it may have jumped the shark a little bit, but it has been its own era of kind of the resurgence of YA. And then following right after Nancy Drew, the series finale as well, which I know we have a few fans of, I don't know, on this show, but I think a few of us watch it as well. So lots to check out in the destination and on the CW.
Someday someone's going to talk about Riverdale the same way you talk about Gilmore Girls, and it's going to be the same way people talked about Dawson's Creek. Riverdale is their Dawson's Creek, and that's the circle of life, right?
Yes.
Well, you can check out all the shows we just talked about and so much more by saying what to watch into your voice remote. Next up, it's a salute to humanity's best friend in a segment we call Free This Week. Xfinity's Free This Week program continues with a free preview of the Dog TV network. And here to tell us more about the shows and specials you and your pups can enjoy for free through August 27th is our very own Liz. Liz, tell us about Dog TV.
Oh, I'm so happy to. So here is a week dedicated for all of my dog lovers, or maybe someone who's thinking about getting a dog. Well, here is an entire week where you get to tune in to Dog TV for free. And if you've never heard of Dog TV, let me turn you on, because even I was amazed when I first heard about this particular network. So Dog TV has scientifically developed programming for your dogs to help them feel more relaxed, happy, and calm. And I know there's tons of people who like to leave the TV on for their pups while they go to work. Well, here you are. You get it all for free for this week. So I have some titles that I was so excited about. And so not only is this for your pup, but they have, and if you are on our platform and come across Dog TV, you'll see that the way that it's broken out too, we have it for your pups, and we also have some titles that just for the humans. And so one is The Dog Moms. This is a talk show, and I'm pretty certain that this will be good for dog dads too. But it's a talk show that talks about all of those questions that moms may have about having either a first-time pup or just a dog in general. Like, how do you travel with the dog? How do you get ready to introduce your dog to a new baby or a new home? So lots of really great information there. The Dog Chef is just that. He actually walks us through how to make nutritious and delicious recipes for your dog, especially if they have illnesses like IBS or allergies or anything, for adult dogs. And then the last is Paws for Love. Very cute show. This is a couple who bought an RV and traveled the United States and really showcase therapy dogs, which is a really amazing thing. So if you haven't already, make sure that you check out Dog TV this week, because it's all free. Don't forget to say free this week into your remote to stay on top of the content for this week and for upcoming weeks. Guys, have you ever seen any? I mean, I'm so excited that we get to get this for free so that I can check this out this week. So have you seen any of this stuff before?
I have. But first of all, is the Dog Chef a dog who's a chef? Is he just pound like? What is he?
No. It's a real chef. He's an actual chef who
Oh.
actually goes through recipes so that you can make nutritious meals for your dog.
You said the dog chef is exactly that. A dog chef.
No. I'm sorry.
imagine
He's a chef for
He's got a little
dog.
hat on. Like, remember the dog Wishbone in the TV show? Wishbone always dressed up like different things. I think he was once a chef. Dogs make
That's funny. I immediately went to the old Sesame Street segments. That was the Weimaraners that wore like old outfits, and they had their little paws, and they cooked a lot too. That's immediately what I went to.
Well, these are all really great ideas for another show on Dog TV.
Yeah. I have checked out Dog TV for my dog, and he is very, very, very smart, but like cannot and has never been able to understand the concept of the TV. Like, I will point at the screen and he will look up, he'll look to the side, he'll look everywhere except for the actual screen. Like, I've tried to FaceTime him with people, and he just like, he doesn't understand that it's a thing he can look at and that it's like a movie. He just doesn't get it. So he's never, I put TV on for him. It's always Cartoon Network. I always think he will like something fun and happy. And so that's what I always put on for him. I don't know if you each have like specific something you put on for your dogs.
I don't. And I think Abby, my dog, is very similar to Billy in that we tried to show her the phone or any type of, screen, and she just doesn't get it either. So sounds are really great for us, but unfortunately the programming doesn't work. But there she is. She's so cute. She was ready for a luau.
Tiny teeth.
Oh, her teeth are just so funny. She's got this underbite, which is, adorable. She was ready for a luau. We had a luau party over the summer, and so she was, had her lay on and was part of all of the festivities. But Abby just turned 6 years old, and we've had her since she was a little pup and has grown up and moved with us and has been just such an amazing part of our life. I didn't grow up with a dog, so this was new for us. And the girls absolutely love it. And she's just been such a joy in our life. I never thought that I would love a dog as much as I do with Abby.
What breed is she?
She is a Maltese and Yorkie mix. So a Morkie. Mm-hmm. So
such a little
she looks more
face.
like a Yorkie, but she has the build of a Maltese. So she's pretty big. She's about 12 to 14 pounds right now. So she's fairly large and not, small like a little Yorkie, but she's a great girl.
Sammy, tell us about your pup.
Yes.
Okay, well, we're just moving up in size. So now we're going into the medium-sized dogs. This is my sweet girl, Penny. Penny is a 3-year-old rescue pup that we got in mid-pandemic. She's a true COVID dog. She, like I mentioned, was a rescue. She and her 10 siblings were found in Georgia and were brought up to Pennsylvania and New Jersey. We are actually in a Facebook group with all her other siblings. So we get to keep tabs on the whole litter, who are equally as adorable. She looks like a little beagle, but we're not sure what she actually is. She's our little mystery hound, as we like to call her. But she is the light of my life. I think that maybe I birthed her. She's like my real child is how I think about her. But she's the best. She is very wrinkly. She's got a lot of skin. It's not noticeable in this photo, but when she leans forward, her head gets all smushy. I like to call it her tiara because it looks like she's wearing a little crown. She's really the best. She's the sweetest dog in the world, and I love my girl.
Does she like to watch anything particular when you go out,
yes.
from looking down from her perch?
Yes, we leave on the Food Network for her. She's a big fan of Guy Fieri.
So she's cooking.
Yes, she is cooking. She She's a great option for the dog chef if that turns into a literal show about a dog who's a chef.
Love that.
There's any number of things. I mean, as everyone knows, like we during the pandemic, so many of us got like very used to seeing our dogs, each other's dogs in the background. So everyone, I think, knows each other's coworkers' dogs, and of course, I've come to love Penny as if I've never actually met Penny, but I know so much about her. And my favorite thing is the way she like curls her lip before she eats something, especially like blueberries or fruits or something. It's just the cutest.
She's got little Elvis face. Her nose gets all wrinkly.
And how she monitors people from your apartment down the street.
Yes.
Like
Penny on patrol, as we call her. It's her job.
Gargoyle. I love it. And now we will move up in size to my dog, and his name is Billy. There we are at a Phillies game, Bark at the Park. Billy is a 8.5-year-old Australian Shepherd, and he was named Billy, not after Billie Eilish, as many people think. They're like, oh, like Billie Eilish. I'm like, no, Billy was Billy before Billy was Billy. And it's just funny to name dogs after like human names. But I.E. I thought was a little more fun. And he's like, what is he, 50? He's around 60 pounds. He's a big boy. Wow. This was at the Phillies game, Bark at the Park. We've gone a few times. He loves it. He's obsessed with the food, mostly at the Bark at the Park. And he awkwardly sits next to the people around us and just stares at them, begging for French fries. But he's really good. It's just like this awkward, like he just stares at them until they're so uncomfortable that they have to give him something. He, as Sammy said about Penny, he is just my favorite thing in the whole world, my best buddy. He's so well behaved. He's gone all over the place with me. We've gone on road trips to South Carolina, to Cleveland, to New York, to all different places. He's stayed in hotels in Manhattan and all variety of places, and he's just so well behaved. He's my favorite. He's so smart, too smart for his own good and for mine, but does not know how to watch TV. I just big tongue and a big smiley dog face, and he's my favorite.
Super cute.
I've been lucky enough to meet Billy, and I couldn't agree more. He's a great dog. He was so cute. Gave me lots of kisses.
Thanks. Yeah, he does love kisses. I will say the only thing about him that is just so unusual in terms of dogs is that he does not care about other dogs. Never. He does not want to play with other dogs. Other dogs approach him and he's fine, but he'll just walk around them like he's just like, please, no. Like he just doesn't, but he loves humans. I think he really does fancy himself more of a human than a dog and looks at other dogs as like kind of below him. Not in a mean way, just he doesn't relate to them. He's like, I am a people. I'm a people, and I will be with the people.
I love that.
I wonder who he was in another life.
That's a good question. He had such a good heart. He was someone very sweet and nice. And anyway, I leave on Cartoon Network for him. I love when people have specific things they leave on for their dogs. Our colleague and former What to Watch Live co-star Scott has a little Chihuahua named Vegas, and literally he puts on Beverly Hills Chihuahua for Vegas every single time. Somewhere, some company is like, why do we have so many streams of Beverly Hills Chihuahua? Like, who is watching this? It's Scott's dog Vegas watches Beverly Hills Chihuahua every time he leaves the house.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you for showing off your beautiful pups. And check out Dog TV this week for free. Xfinity is free this week. Program offers a new selection of free content and from streaming services and premium networks every week of the year with no strings attached. Just say free or free this week into your remote to check it out, and maybe you'll find something that maybe your pup is smart enough to figure out what TV is. And that will do it for today's show. Thanks to my fellow Xfinity editors, Liz and Sammy, for joining me this week. Special thanks to Sarah Jessica Parker and Kristen Davis for joining us. And just like that, season 2 comes to an end this Thursday, August 24th on Max. Thanks to Abby, Penny, and Billy for waiving their appearance fees for that last segment. Just wasn't in the budget. You guys were the best. Shout out to our producers, Brad, Josh, and everyone else behind the scenes for making the show run smoothly. If you want to check out the TV shows and movies we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, just say what to watch into your voice remote, or tune in here every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. You can also watch us on Zumo Play on the Xfinity What to Watch channel. My name is David. Thank you for joining us on What to Watch Live.
Bye.
Bye.